Behind me here is the very first boat from the Arksen Adventure brand. Now, Arksen are a new British boat manufacturer. They are building some big aluminium explorer yachts. There's an 85-footer in build. They've also got an Adventure series. Now, the Adventure series is slightly smaller, faster boats. This particular one is built in association with EXO. They're also doing their own with Ring powerboats, but this is the very first model from them. So it's built in the EXO factory in Poland. It's an aluminium hull, but it has been specially adapted by Arksen to create their own Adventure series. So this is the A30 model. The retail price starts from around £230,000 ex-VAT and ex-engine. This one is fitted with the Suzuki 350 horsepower twin propeller engine, so with that on board it's around about 260,000 ex-VAT. But let's go and have a closer look and see exactly what changes Arksen have made to create this particular boat. So the first thing they've done is change the rubber fendering for this foam fendering. Now this is much thicker, it's also lighter, but they put it all the way along the boat to give it a more robust, almost semi-commercial type look, but it's also lighter, and by saving 50 kilograms they've also managed to put on a roof rack. So they've used that extra weight up here to put a roof rack on so you can mount your paddle boards or canoes or kayaks or whatever it is you want to do. And it weighs exactly the same with the roof rack on board. Now the other thing they've done is really lift the quality of the interior. So everything about it has been tweaked. There's all Arksen's own design. So you can see here in the cockpit we've got lift up seats, so all of those lift up. They can lock out and fold down. So if I can do this, just knock that out, there we go. You can see that folds up like that and folds away, so you can completely get them out of the way and clear the cockpit. Ideal if you want to go fishing or some such. You can see there's storage under the deck itself. Lift that up. We've also got the batteries down here, you can see, but also additional storage. There's another one on the other side too. I won't lift that, but you can see all those benches fold away. Really nice teak slatting on there. And again, they've lifted the whole of the interior too. So you can see we've got a new teak worktop on here. You can fit that out as a galley. It's obviously got the sink. I think you can also get a slot-in burner to go in there. See more storage underneath and lots of lovely little touches. So even here you can see we've got these leather grips on the handrails, just lifts the whole look of it. Got storage around the top, more grab rails up here, very smart roof lining with LED lights set into it. They've also changed the layout, so this here on the EXO is just an L-shaped seating area with a rather small table. What they've done is create a bigger table here with a fold-over flap to get past. That lifts out and goes in the cockpit, so that now it's a bigger table that fills the whole cockpit area. And then here they've used a reversible seat, so if I can just do this one-handed, pull that out and then fold that across so it can face both ways, or indeed you can go one stage further and push it all the way down, and that can then become a convertible berth. So that table drops down, there's an infill that goes in there, and then you've got an extra berth here. You can see they've lifted all the fabrics too, so here we've got these very smart linen inserts into the kind of brown leather look, and then behind here there is a heads compartment. So it's pretty small, there's no natural light other than coming in through that little roof hatch over there, but it does mean you have got a day heads on board. Helm station, again with their own bespoke Arksen seating. That is a special suspension seat. There's also a little fridge under there. And a lovely Arksen steering wheel, leather wrapped again. So it's just small details, but it lifts the whole look of it. We've got an overhead roof hatch, and everything on the boat is standard. They will only do a kind of premium version with heating, with electric toilet, with everything you can see here. It's all standard. And then drop down into the forward hatch area, and you can see there is a bed here. Now, what's quite clever is this whole hatch here slides backwards and forwards. So you can see that comes up, closes up, and then this shuts up. So you can have a completely enclosed wheelhouse, but then fold that down, slide the hatch back, and then there is a proper access with a lift up step so you can get out onto the foredeck. So I'll just show you what that looks like from up on the foredeck. You can see it's a really good access through the foredeck. There are side decks, you can creep along them, but it's much easier to come up through the wheelhouse and up onto the foredeck this way. And then of course there's a couple of guardrails up here. You can see that big fendering around it. And there you go, really neat little anchor locker too. So close that up, turn around, and then drop back down through the step. This is rather cool here too. Look at that huge array of spotlights on there. And then there's that big roof opening. You can see how much that opens up the whole interior. And of course, that step drops down too. Oh, there we go. Need to push that back, but you can see that all drops down, so you've got a complete size berth there too. So there we go. It is, in essence, an XO10, but they've turned it into the Arksen A30. They've added their own styling touches, they've added their own spec, and the whole thing is just lifted. I think what they like to try and say is it looks a little bit like the Land Rover of the seas on the outside, but on the inside it's very much a Range Rover. There you go. Something a little bit different from the adventure brand Arksen. I hope you've enjoyed this very quick tour. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.